How these overnight cues impact our own markets, we have a research team joining in to tell you just that. The market setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to both of you. Sudarshan, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Morning, Sonal. So, well, the setup is looking largely positive as we start this week or last week of the February series. Talking about US market, it was a range-bound session, but a record close for both S&P 500 and Dow Jones. But the major move was seen in commodities, especially oil and gas. Both Brent and NYMEX were down 2% each, and US natural gas was down almost 9%. So, these cues put together, it looks largely positive for our market. But GIFT Nifty, though, is currently trading near flatline. Talking about our market, it was a record start on Friday. Nifty hit live high for 5th straight day, but it fizzled out very soon. And the culprit of this was again banks. Nifty Bank slipped nearly 500 points from day's high, with IndusInd Bank being the top drag, and even PSU Bank saw profit booking after a few negative reports from brokerages. And one sector, IT, where we had anticipated a big move after a surge that we had seen in Nasdaq on Thursday, failed to boost the sentiment, with most IT stocks closing at day's low. But it appears that most of the dips that we saw on Friday were used as a buying opportunities by both FIs and DIs. FIs bought shares of almost Rs 1,300 crore and DIs almost Rs 200 crore in the cash market on Friday. Lastly, in the cues to watch, on the global front, we'll have new home sales data of the US and earnings of Domino's. On domestic front, some stocks I'll be tracking on the basis of news flow are Kotak Mahindra Bank, SpiceJet, Z Entertainment and the Reliance Industries.
Okay, all right. So those are a couple of stocks on our radar. Thank you, Sudarshan, for that. But the other stocks that will be in focus today, Upasana has this list. Good morning, Upasana.
Good morning, Sonal. First up is Rain Industry. The company reported its Q3 and the revenue was down about 25% on a Y-on-Y basis. Next up is GSW Infra. The company gets a LOA for mechanization of North Cargo berth for handling dry cargo at Chidambaram Port. Next up is Kotak Bank, the Zurich insurance company, to acquire 70% stake in Kotak General for 5,560 crores. Next up is HDFC Bank. The bank gets RBI approval to sell almost 90% stake in HDFC Credila. That's the reason the bank will remain in focus. Dixon Tech, the company's wholly owned subsidiary, Pageant Electronics, has entered into a contract manufacturing agreement with Compal Smart Device India for manufacturing of mobile phones. Also, the company has launched a facility in Dehradun for manufacturing of washing machine. That's the reason the stock will remain in focus today. Next up is Westlife. The company has clarified on the reports of poor quality cheese, and the company says that it is actively engaging with competent authorities on this issue and awaiting for a final clarification. And lastly, Skipper will be in focus as the company backs new orders worth 737 crores from Power Grid.
All right, so a couple of those stocks in focus. Finally, let me go across to Nigel, who's joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Hey, Nigel.
Well, morning, Sonal. On Friday's trading session, you saw some lightening of positions on the FIs, both on the long as well as on the short side. So the unbound closed on 5,000 long contracts. They continue to remain net short with close on 56% of their positions on the short side. The PCR came down to closer to around 1. That's because of the aggressive call writing that we saw. 22,300 call, 22,500 call. Between them, they added close to around 60 lakh shares approximately. And there were signs of writing out there, which tells you that at higher levels, the bulls, the bears believe that they can defend those higher levels. Now, the Nifty, the 20 DMA should come up for you. And that's the first reference point on the downside. So that's around 21,880 approximately. What are the crucial levels you're looking at? Since I said the 22,300 and 22,500 levels, well, both of them were seeing aggressive writing. So in the near term, the bears believe they can defend that level. But, just in terms of support, I think the 22,000 odd mark, that should be a good reference point. And if that breaks, then you're looking at that range of around 21,880, which is the 20 DMA. The Nifty Bank, it seems to be hitting a congestion zone of around 47,100 to around 47,500. And I say that because the last few trading sessions, it's going to that mark, but it's not able to conquer that mark. Just take a look at that. Last 4 sessions, it's gone to 47,000 odd, but it's not able to decisively conquer that. So that could be a bit of a resistance zone. We had a quiet close on Friday, and it appears the start as well will be quiet. The trend seems to be positive. US yields as well cooled off. You have crude oil prices as well a little bit lower. So the bulls will feel, well, this is an uptrending market, and they'll continue to buy those dips. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead.